I'm from a long line of people that moved on. My grandparents came from Germany because they had to. My husband's parents came west to Ohio, then Missouri, then Oklahoma. But my husband didn't have the courage for it in the end. He'd rather drink and die than fight and live. And so long since I last chuckled, I'm not sure my mouth can do it anymore. Can you tell me a story that'll make me laugh? Oh, my sides hurt. I loved my husband up to when he took my girls back home. He said he'd rather lie down and die on Oklahoma soil than be spat on here. Well, I can't love someone that gives up, man or woman. I've had a hard day. Do you know any hopeful stories to cheer me up? That's a good one. I'll try to remember it when I'm out in the fields. Luck. Well, my son was born dead. No reason to that. We don't get to pick what happens to us. Anyway, know any good, hopeful stories to share? Thank you for sharing that one. I feel a little better now. Trust. The only thing I can rely on is me. I'm not gonna stop trying to live before I die. Some people give up, but they're dud seed. Anyway, you know any good spooky stories? Oh, you spooked me pretty good. You've had practice, haven't you? Traps. Being hungry means you can't say no, no matter how mean you're being treated. Someone offers you 2 cents for a job that's worth 5. You still have to do it. Anyway, know any good, hopeful stories to share? If you're trying to make me laugh, it's not working, you know. Authority. They say there won't be any policemen in heaven going around and making trouble. But don't you believe it? If there is a heaven, St. Peter is going to be there in a police uniform, sorting the poor folk that come to the pearly gates and sending them to some broke-down Hooverville outside the walls. California isn't what they told us. It gets cold here at night, same as anywhere. And the people here weren't happy to see us coming. We spend all day hungry while we're picking lettuce and apricots. Abundance all around. But we don't dare touch it. And there's no more west to go. I'm headed this way to the next job. You say hello if we cross paths again, all right?
Mi pala en mi espalda agotada, voy a guardar mi ruego entre mis suelas, pues cuando mi llama llegue hasta abajo, ya mi tren se le acabe y ya no va a haber nada. viento y el mar. Y cuando esté frío y falta, estos son los que me enterrarán. Pues voy a tirar estas piedras sobre las aguas de esta tierra y más tardar llegarán. Voy a rayar mi nombre en los huesos de la tierra. Clavaré mis tacones entre el suelo, porque cuando la calaca regrese a medir mi valor, habrá mucho por allá, hallado. Pues voy a cargar mi pala en mi espalda.
groovy to see you again. I guess I spilled it all about my childhood last time we talked. If you want to hear about the good old days and the hate, I can tell you something about that maybe. But I want a good story in trade. I share, you share, dig? You know, I'd love to hear a really good, scary story. Oh man, that's really good. Good and scary, I mean. I still found family there. There were hippies still around, or others like me who wanted to be. We held on to each other for dear life, and they were some of the best family I ever had. So, got any good, hopeful stories? Anything about what the world should be? Come on, don't be a drag. And I fell in love, sure. I was ready for it, ready for love with a capital L. I found a cat with long hair and a bus and a friend on the Dead's Road crew. We hit the road not too long after, but of course it didn't last. So anyway, got any good ghost stories? Oh wow, that's scary stuff. You were really good at telling these. My home. Hate wasn't home. But home wasn't home either, you dig? I started to think that maybe just the people were my home. That it didn't matter where I was as long as I had the tribe around me. Anyway, you got any good sad ones stored up? Damn, friend, that's sad. It's me right here. Traps didn't catch me. I dodged the snare of the hard drugs, thank God. Found someone who gave me grass and acid before I found the ones pushing the pills and the needle. Otherwise, maybe I'd still be there, huddled in a doorway. You know, I'd love to hear a really good, scary story. Oh, wow, that's scary stuff. You were really good at telling these. And luck did have everything to do with it, yeah. Maybe it was the only time that could have happened. Maybe the stars aligned just right. But I have to believe it's possible. That we can all get along and love one another. It wasn't just luck. Well, I gotta get going. Well, keep it grooving, friend. Life's short. You gotta love the time you're given. I'm still sad I missed the summer. And I think I always will be. But I've been trying to find some of that feeling for myself. Trying hard. Look, I'll tell you about it some other time. I'm going this way. Maybe we'll run into each other again.
los huesos de la tierra. Clavaré mis tacones entre el suelo.
The woman hauls a bin of clothes over to a vat of gray water. Despite her slow movements, there's an inexorable intensity to the way she works. You enter the nearby shack. A man's inside, sorting through a jumbled bag. He jabs a finger at you. This isn't your business. Some students have paused their long walk home to rest on the bank of this clear, shallow pond. A young man points at a girl who stands alone on the shore. The girl drops to her knees and stretches her hands into the pond. You all drag her away from the water's edge. Her eyes are fixed on her father's reflection in the sky.
Well, look at you. Lucky we keep crossing paths, right? I don't know. Not a happy story. So anyway, got any good ghost stories? Huh. Joy. All the joy and color had drained out when I got there. The summer of love was over, and it was just a city street. I stopped grooving quick. But anyway, let's keep it grooving. Ha! Ah, you got a groovy sense of... Everything changes, of course. That's what life is. But couldn't it have held up for just a bit longer? Couldn't they just let me see that beautiful, colorful riot where we showed the world what it could be? You know, I'd love to hear a really good, scary story. Huh. Sounds like some kind of... In the future, I don't know what that place will become. I wonder if anyone remembers what it was now. You know, I'd love to hear a really good, scary story. What, do you sit around all sadness? I wasn't sad so much as the wave had come and gone and just left junk. Anyway, you got any good hopeful stories? Oh, that's a good one. Talking about faith. Yeah, it was supposed to be a place of trust. Just strangers helping strangers. So much. A few years later, none of that was left. I hope that was an interesting story. I don't have a lot of people ask me about what the hate was like. Maybe they feel like they know from the news. But they don't. So you're gonna have to tell them to me next time, okay? Where you heading next?
Voy a rayar mi nombre en los huesos de la tierra. Clavaré mis tacones entre el suelo.
I was still a kid when Dame started turning my head. Long gams, gleaming her eye, all dolled up, and I was done. I didn't know how to talk to a dame. I was a boy, play acting as a man. But when I indulged in a little liquid courage, I was off to the races. But you tell me, what's the wildest thing you've seen on the roads out here? My blood's pumping. That's the kind I used to like as a boy. Our home? Louise and me didn't have much starting out. We lived in a log cabin on her daddy's land, but that didn't matter. Home ain't nothing but a state of mind. So I miss them blood-pounding adventure stories. Ooh, tell another like that and you could write a good rag. Choice. My mama wanted me to choose a good Christian woman. But it was my heart that chose Louisa. Anyhow, you got any stories that end looking up? Well, that one sure makes me smile. Joy? Well, seeing a doll smile when she sees you, not much better than that. Especially if that doll's Louisa. But you know, the books I miss the most is the hopeful ones. Sounds like one of the bad, soppy ones. Family like that was new to me. Never wanted to be a daddy on account of my own. But when Louisa got in the family way, I ain't never been so excited. But you tell me, what's the wildest thing you've seen on the roads out here? That's the kind of adventure that sticks with you. They say when you get hitched, you give up your freedom. Freedom to do what? I got freedom now. Look where it's got me. Well, here's the sun. Gotta get going soon. All this talk makes me think about my girl. Before our daughter, I never knew what it was like to have a life depend on mine. But once I held my baby girl in my arms, I finally learned my daddy's lesson. What about you? What lessons do you learn as your life goes twisting along?
I'm gonna scroll my name on the bare bones of the earth. I'm gonna dig my heels into the ground. 'Cause when that ferryman comes for to tally up my worth, I won't leave much to find that can be found. I'm gonna heft my spade up upon my weary back. I'm gonna keep lacerites tucked in my